Alright, where's the other ones? We got even more wyverns around here somewhere. Oh hell, here they are. Holy shit, we just walked into a whole nest of these little bastages, didn't we? Where's the other ones at? Oh yeah, there's two more over here. Okay. Oh. Just stand right here. Oh, there's a ravine here. I see it. Okay. I'm gonna have you come over here. You could probably lob a damaging spell over here. Can you get both of them with this thing? Apparently you can. Proto, come over here. We'll let the other ones catch up to us. The skeletons will go out and do their thing. When you're doing this mission, or this attack, I should say, solo, which I have done, it's a lot scarier. Because we literally were able to wipe out like multiple guys in a combat round simply because we had so many teammates. It's a lot easier, obviously. But I have done it solo before, and I literally had to, just to show you. This is a ravine here, or a hill, I should say here. There's a path up this way. You fight these guys, and the path connects down here. So you can run this way, and all the way to here, and then here's a ravine that separates these guys up to this spot. So this is a blockage. So I literally was running around in a circle. I would snag these guys up. They were all following me in a big hog and circle. This is when I didn't have the turn-based combat. When I'm doing the vanilla version of the game. And I had so many of these little bastards following me. And I was trying my best to like catch them up in spells where they're like puking their guts out. Or if there was like catching in a web spell that I'm immune to. Or just anything I could to slow them down and keep them contained. So I could stop, turn, and shoot. Or stop, turn, and cast a spell. And it was a biatch to try to beat those guys. Just saying. So don't think that it's an easy fight. It's an easy fight right now because of the team we have. And again, saying that, remember I'm talking about doing the solo as a level, like probably 20 character, and it was still tough. So it was not as easy as I made it. Solid hit, Liza. Look at him, step doors. Oh, take your sweet ass time, why don't you? Alright, looks like they're coming this way, so we're gonna come over here and get them a little greeting. Yeah. There's 32 points of damage each. Dio, you can come over here and help me out, bro. You can get one. Nowhere to run. Nice shot. Lock bow. Okay. Tristan, here. You do that same type of attack on it. Go ahead. He's dead. Alright, she can't reach them from there, and she's wielding her weapons. So, for poopsie's sake, I'm going to skeletons on this side just to have some fun. Slow them down at the very least. Worms are not dead already. There you go. Get him, team. Show them what for. Got all these little slow pokes from the other side. I always wondered, while playing D&D pen and paper style with my friends back in the day, I always wondered if Gygax and all the other guys that were responsible for D&D back in the day, wasn't just Gygax. For those of you that don't know, he had a whole list of friends that would triage stuff and try stuff with him. So if you think of all the old wizard names, chances are all the old wizard names are actually his friends. Like Dorraj was Jim Ward. That's what Dorraj is spelled backwards. It's Jim Ward. That's his wizard. And he made a lot of the spells, or helped inspire, let's say it that way, a lot of the spells. So while Gygax is awesome, remember, he had friends, he had help. I always wondered, though, while I was playing the game, if they ever realized how silly some of the spells are. And I don't mean silly like Hideous Laughter is a funny ha-ha spell. I mean the amount of power that one character has that's supposedly just a gift from a god. This god has decided you're awesome as a cleric of this god, and suddenly you have the ability to like nuke stuff from outer space. You know, surely they had to realize how crazy that sounded It's cool, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it, but it's still one of those where it's like, really? Because you start off, like, even, I was a way of phrasing this, like, even the low-level spells, like level 3 Fireball spell, for instance. Any wizard worth their ass wants Lightning Bolt or Fireball. And it literally is, what, a level 5, they finally have access to it. That's not that hard to get to level 5. Yes, it's hard to survive from 1 to 2 if you're going solo, but on a team, it's usually something that they start out being wusses and barely helpful when it comes to like identifying magic items, and they rapidly turn into this the main DPS of the squad, and it don't take much. So when we would do our old D&D missions, we would either put a cap on spell levels. Like you couldn't be higher than level 5 or something like that, because the missions would all be done by the time you got to level 5 spells. For obvious reasons, because I mean, if you're just like blinking stuff out of existence because you waved your hand today, that's just easy. And if it was, oh well, you need all the spell components, well then it became frustrating, because then you had to literally micromanage all your stupid ass gear, and we always hated that shit too. So our compromise was usually a cap, a level cap of our characters, so like level 10, level 12, whatever we decided. Then when I started reading up on Pathfinder because of this game and how much fun I was having with this game, obviously they did a lot to try to make this as close as they could. It's not perfect, but again, for what it is, it's a solid choice. The fun for me is hold on a second here. Oh, that's from our book. I'm about to say, what the hell is that? Wolfgang who? Competence bonus system. Yeah, that's fine. What was I saying? So the fun for me for this game, pen and paper style, when I looked it up, I come to find out that they had not only Magi, again, a subcaster that I enjoy, and I don't mind that we only get up to level 6 spells, and that's only at level, was it 16 on up? So again, that would be perfect for our campaign settings, because we'd never get that high anyway. So again, you'd be capped out at level 5, but you'd still be a fighter type. You'd still have armor, well, unless you went sword singing. You'd still have things that would make you competent for the team. Same with the arcane trickster, the elder scoundrel that I have here. She can only cast level 6 spells by the end of the build, and again, not until she gets to level 16. So again, perfect. It's a rogue, but not really. It's a spellcaster wizard type, but not really. It's a little bit of a hybrid. Solid choice. But when I read up on the pen and paper of Pathfinder, I found something else out. Not only do they have these subcasters that are like only to level 6 spells, there's an even lower subcaster class in there. I forget the names of them. But if you think of the Inquisitor, who's a subcaster, only level 6 cleric spells or less, right? Or in this case, again, the Eldritch Scoundrel, who's a wizard, but only level 6 spells or less, / rogue, obviously. The Bard was always a subcaster. The Magi, again, is a sorcerer or wizard combo, however you want to think of it. That's a fighter. And then they had these other subclasses that would only go up to level 4 spells. And I thought that was actually quite cool. There's a version for a druid, there's a version for a cleric, there's a version for a wizard or a sorcerer type. So again, you had access to the spells for those schools, more or less. And you had some other little frilly bits thrown in there, but you were definitely underpowered. I thought that would have made a really cool campaign, and I just started reading about it, like I said, not too long ago. I would have brought that to my friends when we were growing up and really had fun with something like that, because again, we could have gotten on board with, you can only get to level 4 spells, but it's going to take you forever to get to level 4 for the spell level. And we probably would have really enjoyed that. It would have been something of immense fun for us, because again, even a fireball spell you would have access to eventually, and that fireball spell probably would be like level 15 or something. You'd get it, or 10 or 12, something like that, but still you'd get access to it eventually, and that would be literally a I'm gonna destroy half your army kind of spell, because they're not sending like the goddamn horde from Lord of the Rings, where it's like 5,000 enemies just marching strong or any of that bullshit. No, it's gonna be like 20 to 50 guys marching at you. And if I can take out 20 of those 50 guys with a fireball spell, what's the chances that the other 30 dudes are going to sit there and go, well, we can take them, boys, we still got the advantage? No, you don't. You just lost 20 of your 50 guys. That's huge. That is a massive screw you to the bad guys. That's a 40% loss. And just to put that in perspective for in our world, remember we talk about decimating an opponent. There's a reason they call it decimation, because it's a decimal, right? So 10%, if I remember correctly, the phrase comes from that. So literally a decimation is we take away 10% of your army and just straight up kill them. And that's demoralizing beyond all measure, because now they're down to only 9 to 10 guys. That doesn't sound like that big a deal when you think about it, but if you're that one guy that died, it's a big deal. So again, it's definitely impactful. I love the idea of you really have, you're not a cleric, but whatever that class is, or you're a very sub cleric caster type. So you have the favor of your god, but the god's not going to give you like limited, like unlimited like wish spells or miracles or anything like that, or like these grandiose AoE heals that's going to keep the entire army alive for days on end, which is ridiculous. That alone is amazing. Just a simple cure spell is a life-saving spell. That's a level 1 spell. That's not that big a deal for most people. But if you think about it in context of their world, remember, most peasants, scum, farmers, and everyone else that are working that aren't like adventurer types, their hit points are probably, what, like 4 or less? So a cure spell can take them from literally the brink of death to being fully healthy. Poof. And again, depending on how you do your spells, does it leave a scar? Does it not? Is it perfect healing? Do they still feel the aches and pains of the arrow that went through their heart? Whatever. You can flavor it up however you want. But that's still an amazing ability, and that's a level 1 cleric that can do that shit. So giving a very, very, very subclass cleric type only access to low-level spells and only a few a day would still be huge. And same with a wizard, same with a druid, same with whatever. That's a solid role-playing element to me, because you can literally work that into your character class. Whereas now, with the exception of like maybe let's take our team here, okay? I have a subcaster, a super subcaster, a ranger, a full caster, cleric, and a subcaster, so to speak, bomb guy, right? An alchemist. So the only real person here that's like uber, as far as the D&D world would be concerned, would be the cleric here, Tristan. And he is, to be true. Everyone else is competent. I mean, hell, Ekken's the worst on the list as far as spells are going. And he's crushing it. He's great with his bow. He does exactly what a ranger's supposed to do. He's got a little pet buddy and everything besides. And he does work. So, if he's competent enough to carry the team in many fights, picture other people just like him, not rangers, but they have druid spells, that have cleric spells, that have wizard spells at the same level of restriction. And they're still good enough with a bow, still good enough with a armor and a sword and board, whatever, that they can still melee or range attack and still compete for damage, put numbers on the board, so to speak. That's role-playing, and that's fun to us. Having people that are like Tristan, where every combat is, well, let me take a knee because I just blew out like 5 amazing spells and I want to get those all back. So let's just camp here so that we get all our spells back. It's fun sometimes to be uber. It's always the goal. But it's a little crazy when you literally are going out of your way to just make sure that you're fully rested, fully healed, fully buffed, fully ready for every contingency. It's cool to have that, but there should be some risk, even as a level 15, level 17, level 20 character. So unless you're upping the ante, and then it kind of falls on the DM to decide how to make it a challenge for the team without being a total tool about it. Let's face it, we've all had the DM that, for instance, I used to play with my friend Guido back in college, and he told me a story. How did it go? He was playing when he was younger. He had a friend who was the DM because he was the only one that was really good at storytelling. And his friend was also, because he was the only one that was good at it, he was kind of the dick. Let's just say it. He basically decided that everything revolved around him. He was the special one that was allowing the teammates, or the other guys that were playing, to survive. And if he was mad for whatever reason at him, for any reason, he would just suddenly, your team of 6 people, and like maybe they had like a 1 or 2 hired on mercenaries that were like low-level fighters to carry their bags kind of things, and to help shoot arrows every now and again. So like a team of, let's just say, 12 total, 6 main characters and 6 sub characters. And like he would give them as you peer over the hill, you see like 500 orcs totally pissed off at you marching your way. Clearly you're going to lose, right? There is no getting out of this. You're going to be shot, you're going to die, or you're going to be captured when no one wants to be captured. So no one wants to give up their weapons, no one wants to lose their gear, so they'll fight to the death. And then the DM's like, well, why did you do that? We're just going to have them arrest you guys. Orcs don't arrest people, dude. Orcs slaughter people. That's what orcs do. So no one's going to buy that shit that, oh, I was just going to be nice. No, you weren't. You were trying to kill us. You were being a jackass. So Guido would get pissed off, and every time he'd pull this shit, Guido had a bag of holding, and he also had a portable hole. Now you guys know where this story's going. For those of you that don't know, there's 2 versions of this. So you need to understand what a bag of holding properly is. Literally, it's an extra dimensional space, right? So it literally is a bag where there's a spell been cast on it, where literally, permanently, this bag has extra storage capacity. And of course, it's lighter as a result. So anything you put in there that you can fit in the bag, some of the weight is reduced, which is why we have bags of holding in this game. There's a thing called a portable hole. It literally looks like a piece of felt, like a black felt cloth, like a hole. There's a big circle. And you can pick it up, that's why it's portable, and you can put it down on something, and now it makes a hole on that surface, whether it's the floor, the ceiling, the wall, the door, and you can get through it, right? So again, it's an extra dimensional teleportation spell, kind of, but only locally. You don't get to like teleport 500 feet away or anything like that. You literally just walk from one side to the other. You're just making a temporary hole. And again, it's kind of cool, but because of the magics of those 2 particular magic items, I forget who put it in or how it got established. Maybe this is not even canon, but I swear it is. There's 2 things that can happen. If you make the mistake of putting the bag of holding through the portable hole, something bad happens. If you take the portable hole and throw it into a bag of holding, like, it ends like the multiverse or some shit like that. Like, it's basically a game-ending scenario. Okay, so it's the was the Star Trek reference, the Kobayashi Maru. Basically, like, you know what? And Guido would pull out the bag of holding, and he'd pull out the portable hole and threaten to throw it in there. When the guy would say, you see 500 orcs coming up the hill to kick your team of 12's ass. And he's just like, they're already wounded, they're already low on health, so they have low spells, they haven't rested, they're completely exhausted, they don't have the right gear for this kind of fight anyway. And so he'd like pull out the bag of holding and the portable hole and look at his friend and say, all right, Mike, are you going to be a dick like that? All right, let's do this. I'm happy to throw this in here and just ruin your entire story. And then the DM will get mad. Whoa, calm down now, Guido. I was just kidding, man. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. You're being a dick. And he's okay, well, how about this? The 500 come up, and their main leader says, since there's 6 of you, he's going to challenge you with their 6 best warriors for the rights to, whoever survives basically gets to walk away. So if their guys win, then they get all your shit. If your guys happen to win against the 6 of his best guys, then you guys will walk away scot-free. It's respect kind of thing. Okay, and then he put the bag in the portable hole away. But that's role-playing. That's someone that's like, dude, don't ruin this game for me. We're having fun. It was a good day. Yes, we were in a bad fight, and I know you're tired because you didn't like the way we hopped off the rails. He had a specific path that the DM wanted to follow. But it's an interaction. It's not just the DM telling a story. We can all sit there and listen to him tell stories if that's what he wants to do. That's fine. That's not fun. That's entertaining, but it's not fun. So, let us be part of the story. That's the whole point of being part of the team. So Guido would get really frustrated when the DM would do stuff like that. But then there's also the same DM that would allow him to do like really cool stuff. Like they got to have pets one time, and he got like I think Guido told me that he was playing a wizard at that time, and he got a fairy dragon or a smoke dragon, something like that, like a little pixie dragon kind of looking thing, a little tiny, about the size of a cat dragon. And the thing was like a master of pickpocketing and being a sneak thief. And it was constantly in and out of everyone's packs, stealing shit all the time. And it was constantly getting in trouble because everyone's like, have you seen my magic wand of what? And then, of course, Guido's, not pet, because it's not a pet. It wasn't a familiar either, but it was a friend, an ally. and was constantly getting in and out of trouble and getting him in trouble. So he's constantly like getting the team pissed at him, and like this stuff would not only get stolen, but like the dragon would decide that because it was a specific kind of magic, the dragon would eat it, and it was tasty, and it healed the dragon, or like they make up these really fantastic rules of just stupid shit that would happen, and it was a way for the DM to role play with them because he was the pets basically, and what he would do was like if he made a mistake, for instance, and we've all done it. As a mistake, like he told them that this like main bad guy or whatever that supposed to be like the last fight that they have, right? It's like it's early in the campaign. It's like maybe chapter one of a 3-chapter trilogy, and the main bad's there, and he's like showing off, and me and my army will kick your ass, and he like explains in graphic detail all the kick-ass magic items that the guy has, and he's like showing off basically. And then somehow, by pure dumb luck, and the dice rolls are with him, the team somehow manages to kill the main bad in chapter 1. So of course the DM can flex his muscles and basically either take it back, which of course is bullshit, or this wasn't really the main bad. This was like his little brother or some shit, and he like stole his gear or whatever. But the main bad is, he's really there still in the back shadows. Okay, that's fine. But all that shit you said he had, and that you showed that he was using, like the Ring of Regeneration and the Ring of Spell Storing, or whatever else he had. Well, you get that, right? Because he's dead. He didn't teleport away. He's right goddamn there, dropped dead in the first combat round. So we want all that shit. And when he realized that he made that mistake, and he's like, oh shit, so I have to give it to him, right? So he'd use like the pets to like steal stuff and eat it or bury it, so they couldn't find the Ring of Regeneration anymore, or the wand of whatever that was super awesome that was gonna like incinerate like the next 5 fights that they were in. The dragon like snapped it in half and started licking the insides of the magic hours. Just whatever. He just made up shit. But as a way for him to like triage his own mistakes. And again, that's good role playing. That's a DM that cares. He adds to the story. He doesn't take away from it. Doesn't say you can't have that. He says, okay, you can have it, but only if you're paying attention. And there's so many other ones. Like he was the one, he was similar to the one that I used to team with back in the day when we would flip-flop between who was the DM, and we had a guy that we had wands, of course, and everyone could use a wand. Like he had decreed when we started off, because everyone as their first time DM gets to make up their own rules. Let's just say it's house rules, and he would decree, or we would all decree like different things. Like if we didn't like a specific rule, like mine. Let me just put mine out there. I always hated that no one could sneak attack but a rogue. It just bugs me. It makes no sense. You're telling me a fighter, a trained fighter, can't be stealthy enough to sneak up on someone and gut the shit out of him. Oh, he can hit him and hit him hard. No, we're talking 10d6 of hard? No, bullshit. I'm not saying he has to be as good as a rogue. A rogue is a specialty class. It makes sense that they're the best. But I should be able to use as a feat, for instance, like my traits that I have for the accomplished sneak attacker. I should be able to use a trait or a feat that gives me a sneak attack die, or 2, maybe max 3. And again, you can hide that behind the wall if you have to be, level 5 fighter to do this, level 10 fighter to do this, whatever kind of restriction you want to put on it. But that was my thing. Like, you could sneak attack if you were anybody and you set it up. You can sneak attack. I don't mind that. But this guy, when he do his stuff, was everyone could use wands. He had set up a world where literally magic was commonplace. Everyone had a cantrip. Even the fighters had cantrips. Everyone had access to magic. It wasn't amazing, but everyone had something they could do. So everyone could pick a spell, which is, again, added flavor, and it got people interested in being the magic casters. We hit a dry patch of people that were, I want to be the fighter. I want to be the fighter. I'm going to be the paladin ranger fighter. I'm going to, so no one was literally being the cleric. No one was being the wizard. No one was being any of the cool stuff that you could be. Everyone wanted to be the badass, because if our missions were only going to take us to like level 5, it made the most sense to be someone that was competent in melee or with weapons, so that you literally were just, a fighter with spells. Again, Magi would be perfect for this kind of campaign. So he decided, again, like I said, everyone had access to magic, and everyone had access to wands. If it was stored magic, which is what we called it, just like potions, you had access to them. Now the question is did you know how to use it? And what that means is not use magic device skill check or anything like that. No, we're talking about all his wands require that you research them, or someone research them, and found out what the magic word, if you will, is that activates the wand. Which got some funny stories for us, where like my magic wand of wonders that I found like in the first campaign, like out of nowhere. Remember, this is the wand that literally is like it's like a 20-sided or 100-sided die roll or something retardedly huge like that, where it was a random effect each time, so I could not predict what the wand would do. Like it like shoot flower petals at them once. I had it like do an actual fireball spell, I think, maybe, or a lightning bolt spell maybe once. I had like a sub level, of course, but still enough to do enough damage to scare the shit out of them and make them think I was a wizard. I think once, I remember for sure, instead of shooting flower petals at them, I shot gemstones at them, all worth like a gold piece, like one gold piece each, and it was like a random die roll. And because the gemstones were shot out at such speed and they were sharp, it actually did damage, so I could actually hurt someone with it. It was, of course, random, and again, I couldn't predict this, but it did what I wanted it to do, which was hurt or kill the bad guy. And because of that, we were able to pick up the gems, and they weren't worth much, but we like did enough damage with it. I think we got like 10 gold pieces out of it. So, I mean, that was kind of cool. And that spawned a significant amount of fun times and stories and fond memories between me and my friends for years. And I'm just saying, I always appreciated changing the rules a little bit for everyone's liking, as long as it wasn't ridiculous. Like everybody has magic, everybody can fight like a fighter, everyone's like a rogue. That's just, oh, so everyone's Superman now, huh? Okay, that's less fun. Anyway, I'm rambling. So let's get into the game. Notice I don't need this strength spell anymore. Give this one to Juby. And I think Tristan's probably lackluster for strength. And now that I've done that, I will actually swap that spell out, because I don't need that one anymore. Remember, I got the Belt of Strength, Dex, and Con of +6. So in this case, I'll put in a couple snowball spells that are intensified. Sure, why not? No, I'll do one intensified and I'll do a Scorching Ray. There we go. That'll be fun. From there, I have, move this down. No. She will buff herself up with Shield of Faith. Give me one as well. Notice that our buffs are still on us. So immunity compulsions are still a thing, and Aristotel's Blessing is still a thing for our team. That's awesome. Which means we also have our immunity to poisons. Shield spell for her. Make sure that I'm not using up her meta magic wands. Have it doing that. I forget to pull them over here. Like, yay. So that they're on the list.
I'm always ready.
He's good to go. Okay. And he will do Barking on himself. Give a long strider. Get some acid damage for your pet. Or you bow for yourself. It'll last only a few minutes, but it's going to be a decent few minutes. Notice that put that short bow category into the long bow category. So 1d6 became 1d8. That's all it did. But still, I'd rather have it than not. He has the spells, might as well use them. He will do a bless spell for us. Shield of Faith for himself. Give another one to Ekin, so Ekin doesn't get mugged. Give himself magical investments for armor. Let's throw on a freedom of movement for yourself as well, just in case. Give yourself a shield spell on Juby. Drink your mutagen, your first one anyway. Expeditious retreat for yourself. Blur for yourself. Give yourself Cat's Grace for her. Give yourself Blur for Tristan. Expeditious retreat. Shield spell as well. Let's say the other set in case we get dispelled. Is this heroism or greater? Heroism for myself. And for her, what I can do. Yeah. Airwalk for yourself, so trap some stuff. Freedom of movement for me. And bark skin for yourself. See, invisible communal. Sure, why not? It'll last a long time. Alright, I feel good about that.
Bothering you?
Let's quick save that mess. Now remember, in fact, let's actually hard save this mess. Remember, we have an a hidden item on this thing, on this level, at every level. We need to find something before we leave the level. If we do not, we have to go back to an earlier save to find out where the hell it was.
I shall
and that
end this
could be
suffering.
difficult. Notice we have a stone golem fight, and we're in an acid area. See the green stink cloud? That literally means acid damage that these guys are going to be able to do. So someone is going to buff us eventually here with a resist acid spell. And that's all we need is just one AoE version of it, and that'll be enough to protect us. That also means you guys are probably resistant to acid or immune, therefore don't hit them with that shit. But fire, on the other hand, yeah, they're immune to that apparently too. Alright, so it's time then to use our Bane weapon upgrade. Oh, looks like I've wasted my turn then. Can't do that. Ekin, shoot these guys up. Good solid damage. Nice. He was able to drop one before the fight even really started. Proto. All these guys are probably immune to all kinds of spells. Remember, ones that don't have spell resistance still work. Got him with a sneak attack. Look at that. Solid damage. It is pretty. Sounds good. Eliza. I don't mind you summoning pets. Oh, that's why your tray had all the extra spots in there. Let's actually put these down here then. Axiomized Bogeyman's, 3 of them. Up to. Mavonic Diva. Let's do the Diva. Show what this guy can do. This is, like I said, the one that's the sword wielder. They are pretty baller. I will give them credit for that.
Will they ever learn?
Sneak attack. And that's that fight over. Pretty easy. Once you have a pretty baller team, a lot of the Tenebrous deaths become a joke. Because we have this acid issue, though, I do want to buff up, and I know she has that spontaneous spells for this. The resist energy communal.
Oh,
That's all we needed.
I was successful in my search.
You sure were. Looks like we got a trap up here. We need to check the area thoroughly. Remember, we do not want to miss a perception check.
I'm there.
Usually I save after each fight just so we don't have to keep coming back to stuff too. You see we have something to pick. Juplas is apparently our smart guy when it comes to that.
You can thank me now.
And we just got ourselves a... Wow, belt of physical form +6. This is a 6/6 to what? Dex and Con, that's sexy. Okay, who could use that? She has... Physical form, Dex and Con, 4 and 4. Here we go. Upgrade. And the 4 and 4. And that one, if someone doesn't have it, he's got Strength and Con. He has all 3, but he doesn't really need Strength. He needs Dex and Con more. Oh, he even has... Oh, he's got a Bull Strength on him. Oh, perfect. So he doesn't even need that belt. Good. Okay. So that's a solid upgrade. Really right off the bat there. And you couldn't have asked for a better item as soon as you walked into the first room.
That is
Really.
quite a discovery.
And again, here comes the secret stuff that we're missing. There is a secret room on at least on every floor, if not more than one. So if you haven't found a secret room before you go to the next floor, chances are you missed it. That's a bummer. That means you don't have enough perception. Oh my. Hey there, Mr. Affak. I need to buff up. I didn't get a chance to do that last time. What might I do to you, jackasses? Have some fun. Oh, slow spell. Oh, 5-foot stutter step first. Got him. Liza, come on up here, kiddo. Remember, you're our main tank. We need you up front and center. Comes the Holy Diva. We gotta be careful with that fool, because I don't know what kind of spells they cast. It might be more electric shit coming our way. Ekin, you stay your happy ass right over here. Bow, on the other hand. Yup. be Tristan's turn, and Tristan will actually bring us some skeletons. Send in. Slow these guys down this way. Trying to peel everyone you see over to the side of the wall. One is I want to group these guys together, make it easier on myself, but the other is I don't know if this guy, when he gets close enough, is going to throw a lightning bolt straight down the center. If we're hugging the wall, it's possible he'll miss us, is my logic here. Doesn't mean I'm right. But here we are this way. Again, acid won't do me any good, but a shout spell might. Got one of them. Remember, that means he is stunned for 1 round only. That means sneak attack is applicable for him. Or for us to do on him, because he is stunned. He's basically unable to defend himself. He's gonna run right into battle. Good on you, buddy. Alright, Ekin, you need to take out this fool. Oh, solid crit right off the start. And just so many arrows. Nicely done, sir. Okay. Ukbo. Nummy time. Num cookie. Num cookie. Yeah. AI pattern's bugged. Let's get Proto over here. She can hit him with another snowball spell. Or a straight up critical miss. Oh, 5. Really? You need to hit a 5 and you freaking... Oh, you suck. Bomb boy. Do that bomb thing you do so well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There it is. Damage. Wow, I can't believe you didn't hit him on that last one. It was a splash damage. See the low number on that? 17. That was a AoE splash damage. So he missed, but the bomb was still within his range. Tristan's turn. Tristan, why don't you come in here? These things are probably susceptible to this. Yeah, they are. 19 damage. Skeletors. Choppy, choppy.
This will hurt.
Nice hit.
Do not hold back.
Whiff. Oh, Diva. Alright, fine. We'll just have to finish it off first. There we go. We'll collect it just because we're going to get rid of this stuff later. Again, we're going to pick up everything.
Follow if you dare.
Ooh, an Apex Predator. What's this? If the wearer has the Druid's Wild Shape class ability, this circlet grants them a +3 bonus to armor class and a +3 bonus to attack rolls while in Wild Shape. Now that's cool. We don't have any Druids, but it'd be fun. It's one of the things that I never really liked in our campaigns was Druids. I don't mind the Druid spell list. I hated Druids that were always changing into shapes and stuff. It just became comical. It's like, oh, I know how to make myself a dinosaur now, so I can just basically be the whole team. You guys just sit back while I eat everybody. And it just became silly. But whatever. If you guys want to have Druids, you guys have Druids.
Interesting.
Nice eye. Barely caught that trap in time.
Child's play.
Good job, boy.
Stand with
Alright,
me.
now I could have snuck in closer. Notice I keep clicking on the guy that starts the fight, official. Because it gives me a chance to prepare, place our people. But I could have snuck in and got a little closer. But then the downside is he could literally be so close to me. If he gets the initiative, he just wallops me upside the head multiple times before we have a chance to do anything. And that's no fun either. So what I'm doing is seeing if I can charge this fool. Yeah, I can. And Okbo, can you charge this fool? No, but you can't get up in here. Like a good Okbo. Good job. Making room for in case someone else can come in. Proto, you can 5-foot stutter step. And you have a spell? Maybe. That's a golem, that ain't gonna cut it. I could summon skeletons. Won't be amazing at damage, obviously, but they will be able to take the heat off me, so to speak. Jubilos, can you hit this fool?
A clever ploy.
How about now?
Ha! Primitives.
Ekin, I need you to come all the way up in here.
Nowhere to run.
This is the surprise round, so I'm not worried about getting a lot of attacks off. I'm just trying to get more into position. Leora, that guy knows what he's doing. Tristan, I want you to get way the hell away from this guy. Skeletons are going to come on in slowly.
You should have
Now I can probably just finish this guy off straight away. Just beautiful damage, buddy. Take a look at that, though. I wailed on him, and he's still at just under half health. Alright, Proto. Come in here. Since you're only going to cast a single spell, waste a lot of your movement getting into position. Notice, because she got sneak attack, he's got a -2 to his strength. That was her most recent acquisition for her class skill. This guy here, Crippling Strike, or any sneak attack. Doesn't matter how she lands that sneak attack. Any sneak attack she does gets that Crippling Strike. That's a powerful, powerful screw you to the bad guys. Skeletons do their thing. Alright, Jubal lost. Come on up in here and
Will
fun.
they ever learn?
That's it. He's got so many bombs. Many of these fights are going to be extremely trivial. A weird looking little room. Got a door up here.
I'm off.
Remember, they have hidden chests in the rooms too, so that's something else that could be a problem for us. Is we could literally stumble upon a room that we did not do enough of a perception check to pass it. Kind of unlikely with the kind of team that we have, but it does happen.
Test of my abilities.
I guess we're attacking. I didn't realize we had started combat. I guess I fat-fingered it. Liza's turn. It's actual combat, so you can see we get double movement. Movement and attack, or movement and movement. So I'm going to do that, and it's a golem. I'm going to do a fire bomb. Oh, 0. Boo. Let's be able to fire at that level of damage. Again. Get your butt down here. Shoot, 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 shoot. Pow. Oh. Ooh. Remember, the reason he's doing so much damage is not just that he's awesome, and he is. It has to do with a specific feat he picked up for me. Let me show this one to you. What was it called? Clustered something or other? Point blank master. Rapid shot. Did the beam. Oh, he does not have it? How is that a thing, buddy? Surely he does. Oh, there it is. Clustered shots. Okay, it's just hidden somewhere else. Clustered shots is the one that literally, if they have damage reduction, the first arrow or whatever we're talking about here, first missile attack, hits. If it reduces the damage, that's fine. That's taken into account. If no damage gets through, let's say they have a DR 10 and the arrow's only doing like 5 points of damage. The first arrow does 5, it does a 0. The second arrow hits, it does 5, it does a 0 again. The next arrow hit, now it's back to being full damage. So basically, it's not per arrow anymore. That's what clustered shot does. It's an amazing ability when you really want to land against heavily resistant targets. So that's why Ekid is like crushing it right now. Well, I want to scan the room. This seems like a big room to have this one guy in it. Nope, looks like we just got the one. Okay, I ain't gonna argue. Tristan over here, and it's your turn. I want you to do anything. Proto, on the other hand, you got another one of them snowball spells, Handy. Boom, only 5 damage. Oof. Reduced damage on no less. So they got a DR 20 against cold. Notice that, by the way, though, that was empowered. Remember, she's got that cool belt on. Everything's empowered and extended for her. So any spell that she casts, so just to show it to you, where's her? There they are. Shield spell, that's why it's at 26 minutes 30 seconds. Same with the blur. Because she cast it from herself, and because that belt was on, those are low-level spells. Those are double the duration because it's extended. So that's a nice upgrade. That's why I try to get gear that's a little different each time. So it's not the, oh, the +8 of this, and the +8 of that, and the +5 of the weapon. You can mix and match a little bit and still have lots and lots of fun. So I do like that they put that kind of effort into the game. Let's see, where we at here, bro? GB. We'll finish this fight in a heartbeat. With a bomb or two.
Fine use of my talents.
There's a 1. There's 2. There's 3. And 4. And remember, he's getting 4 attacks because he has 4 attacks here. Let's actually switch him over to this because this is 5, 6, 7. See if that actually does work. Because I think it does. Did you just take a swing at me, you bastard? Fortunately, I got decent armor, because that's a 35. That's a solid swing. Dorraj's turn.
Strike!
We shall
Come on, Ivan.
overcome.
Wow, that was a weak-ass swing. What the hell? I thought she was better than that. Must have forgot to buff her with something. Ekin, finish him off.
You dead.
There we go.
I do what I must.
He does what he must. Alright. We're going this way. We're going that way. Remember, we want to not just check the sides. Okay? Because, like I said, there's hidden treasure chest
There's
places.
something here.
For instance. And you want to make sure that you're not forgetting to
I'm there.
grab it. And I think we may have just... Oh, that's a new spell. Scroll of Veil of Positive Energy. That's an interesting scroll. One of the things I do like about Tenebrous Steps is the ability to get like gear that you wouldn't normally have access to. It is actually kind of fun.
Interesting. In due time.
Alright, what's going on in this room? See, we're already at the spot where we go downstairs, but we have not, I don't think, picked up our cool new item. So what we need to do is you need to date from newest to oldest, all items. And you're looking for anything that's clearly magical in nature, but it will also have the something about the Tenebrous depths associated with it. I'll give you a for instance. Where's the ones that we've done in the past? No. No. Is it that one or this one? Oh, it's this one here. We have Ranger's Diary, Ranger's Siren, and so forth. And like this is, like I'm saying, stuff that we found in the past. Rival's Lullaby, and again, all that stuff was part of their story arc. The Mug of the Weary Traveler, the interview with the Weary Traveler, and all these things, again, were stuff one on each floor. So we're missing something from this list, because the last thing we've picked up is the key to the magical prison, and that was something we picked up in the outside world. So we're missing the item. Do not go downstairs until you find that item. So that's a problem. But we have another door we still have yet to see what's in there. So that's a thing. Hopefully it is in there. Because if not, then we're going to have to go back to an earlier save and figure out what we've missed. A hidden room, a hidden treasure chest, who knows. But you can also go online to find out what the rooms, like the whole rooms, look like. And that I find infinitely helpful when it comes to, oh, I missed this room over here, like a hidden room. I think the treasure is the same spot every time. So the person that's posted those online has been nice enough to actually post where they found the magic items. So they're like, oh, this is found in this box or over here in this chest. And if you don't see the chest, then you know that you missed the perception check, which is extremely valuable. Whoever did that, if you ever watch this video, I doubt it. But if you do, thank you very much for putting that out there for the rest of us, because it really is helpful. No one likes missing out on things, and especially when something is a part of the story. Just gonna strip damages, fool. Just do that and get out of the way. War buff, Jubilost. Bam!
Clever ploy.
Oops. Oh, this is the surprise round. Dora, then since he's dumb and walk in. Just get up in here, do his face. Proto. 5-foot stutter step. Can you hit him? Sneak attack. Minus 2 to his strength, at least. It's helpful. Ekin. 5-foot stutter step into the room. And
Cannot
1 arrow
hide
at least.
from me.
Nice. Tristan, you just come into the room. Wait your turn. Okbo, do the same. Wait your turn. Alright, now we're back in the original combat round. Notice this mature Athak has got 3 people in front of him. Eliza, the summon Mova Diva, that's this guy out here. And then Jubilos is probably going to crush his face. But I'll happily weaken him. A nice bone shaker. 21 damage. He's at half health already. And I'll come up here to flank him with Eliza as well as Dora. Jubilos is ready to rock and roll though, so it's time for Jubilos to straight up bomb the shit out of him. Boom. Bam. Oh, and he's gone. That's why Jubilos trivializes so many fights. Student's copybook. This might be the item. Yep. See that? Student's copybook. This is the item that we're looking for. So now, I mean, we'll still check the area because, again, stuff. We'll even go back upstairs to sell the stuff that we've picked up. But we can transverse down into the next layer after we've successfully checked this entire area up here. We'll feel good about the fact that we're going downstairs, is my point. Wow, that's a random nothing. Now if I do this, we will not be able to take a knee.
A trivial task.
I don't mind. Notice what it gave us though. We got some XP for everybody. It also gives us a buff. This buff is Mystic Assistance. In this particular instance, it's always like a random thing. This blessing grants you a circumstance bonus to all saving throws. The bonus to value depends on the dungeon level. So let's actually take a look at the character, see what it says. +3. And that's for all 3 of our saves. Fortitude, Reflex, and Will saves. That's not bad. For a team, that's a solid buff. And that's a 30-minute buff. I'll happily take that. Now we're going to go downstairs. We feel confident that we have gotten everything. Yes. Do another quick once-over just to make sure there's not like a door that we forgot to go down or something like that. Nope, looks good. Okay. And we can immediately, once we get downstairs, we can immediately turn around and go back upstairs by teleporting. There is a portal at each floor, the entrance of each floor. And that entrance, that teleporting portal will take us directly outside. We can sell stuff and then use the portal to come directly back to where we teleported it from in the first place. So you don't have to keep going down every goddamn flight of stairs. In the, because this is a DLC, this Tenebrous Steps is a DLC. It's the Infinite Dungeon, or something similar. For the people that just want to play the Tenebrous Steps, you can do so from literally level 1, make a team, get mercs and all that jazz, and make a perfect party, or whatever you think is a perfect party, and run through it from level 1 and just keep going. So your level 1 character can rapidly progress to level 20 before too long. But you don't get to play the game with that character, you just get to play the Tenebrous Steps. And it's a good way to test builds. Having said that, you do not have the ability to go back and up and down flights of stairs. The maps are random generated versus these ones, which are hard-coded. So there is that difference as well. So know that that's going to be a thing. We're just basically selling our junk off. I want to keep that short sword always. We're not selling this, and I don't think it even lets you sell that, so that's nice. We do have some magic items, maybe that we picked up, so feel free to check to make sure there's not something that you're like, I don't need that garbage. Like this one here, we don't have a druid. Do we want to keep it? Not really. I'd rather have more money. So again, feel free to go through your laundry list of things. Now, we feel pretty good about this. We have buffs on us, so I don't want to rest. Notice outside, not only does he sell stuff, but you can infinite rest here. The dragon sells stuff as well, but we're not going to do that either. I'm going to actually just get back downstairs, and this video's been just under 2 hours, so I think I'm going to take the break now. So that's about 3 hours worth of video that I'm giving you guys today. With that, though, my name is Brother Ian. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you guys think so far, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.